Oh man. And bro, it was crazy too. It was saying, like, if you go to the RuneScape website, it'll say you're chanting words of power. And literally, if you go back to the room, like, in behind the scenes where it says, Pargon, bro, the only place I've ever heard that word is in a video game from GameCube, Eternal Darkness, and I played it on stream before. But that's the only place I've ever heard that word. And matter of fact, yeah, I'll probably play the game again on stream. Yeah, I'll probably play that game again. But that's the only place I've ever heard Pargon. And with necromancy, if you go to the website, if you scroll down to like where he has his arms like this, in front of that little thing where you gotta do the glyphs, it says you'll say words of power, and I'm like, and I and I hit one of these. I know I've heard this before. And then you gotta do a shocked face. You gotta be like, I was looking at movies because I said the same thing in the video. I'm like, bro, movies are fronts, right? You know how the what's it called, the first necromancer, like, you see how he's playing the piano, bro. There's a movie coming out with the same exact look of the dude playing the piano, and he does the finger thing on, like, bro. It's called Haunted Mansion. Like, it came back in 2003, but they're remaking it now in 2023. Bro, look at the trailer and look at him playing the piano just like the first Necromancer, bro. It's hilarious. And it's the same fucking concept. The Well of Souls, all these souls are here and they're playing it. It's it's playing the same fucking way. It's hilarious. It's the same. It's the same shit. So yeah, all of this is just in cahoots with one another, bro. It's just hilarious. When I had saw the trailer, I'm like, bro, this is the same thing as the Necromancer. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, there's something going on. All the people in cahoots. Yeah, bro, it's hilarious. Look at Haunted Mansion, bro. Matter of fact, let me look it up. Hold on. Haunted Mansion. Look at this, Dad. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this, right? Just look at this. Just look at this. Where is it? What is it? No, it's not this window capture. Just look at this, bro. Just look at this, dog. You see this right here? You see Haunted Mansion, right? And it came out a month ago. It came out a month ago, but you see how it looks like the first Necromancer? Now let me pull up the first Necromancer, bro. Hold on. I'm trying to put that bitch side by side. Like, you see how it looks like he's like playing the piano, the souls are going around him. Right? You see it, right? So I'm thinking, yeah. And the villain is some guy that wants to hold all the souls there, quote unquote. Like, it's, bro, like, I didn't see the original Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, but bro, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. The way I be thinking about like storyline is what's going on in the real world. Like, that's how I usually like think of like what the quest lines are gonna go toward. Like, if you look at different games, like look at Diablo 4 and look at the Elder Scrolls Online, right? What are the main things going on for those games? It's necromancy, like Elder Scrolls Necrom, and then you have Diablo 4, which is, dealing with demons and angels. So I'm thinking, okay, so if we go with the theme of the world, right? And where they're trying to go. So if we look at Raziel, like the or Raziel, like how they're trying to push that name as the first necromancer, like I was looking it up yesterday, right? And they're trying to push as like that Raziel as the angel of secrets or the angel of truths. So I'm like, okay, so if we push that narrative, right? So what I'm thinking is they're going to try to push this truth that's going to be pushed out, like a truth type of thing. And if you look at movies, like movies are just fronts. We already know that in real life. Any movie that you see is a front. That means it's really happening in the world. So just like you know how, like you remember how the Elder God eggs were about to take over the world or destroy the world. It was the same thing in the Eternals. The Eternals was the same concept. The Eternals was gonna take the Anima Mundi from the Earth and kill all the humans to create an Eternal. Just you get what I'm saying? Like all of that was related, and it came out during the same time as Elder God Wars. So I'm like, there's a theme going in real life. So everything is just going according to what it is at the moment. So if you really look at the movies and look what's coming out at the time, it's like okay, so all of this is kind of adding up. That's what I'm thinking. Like Zaltak is going to be a big issue. Zeros is a big issue because Zeros said when he comes back from Erebus, we're not going to be friends. In the storyline, he took Saradomin's crown. All of these things are going to add up to Zeros coming back and causing an issue. So that's going to be a thing. And necromancy, okay, so if we have necromancy, right? So that means I'm assuming that we're going to learn something in necromancy because Death and Icthlorin are the guardians of Guthix. The world guardian, which is, you know, your own character, right? Your own character is the guardian of Guthix, so we understand that Death, he's gonna have a big part in this thing because he knows what's going on. Like he knows obviously what's going on. Him and Icthlorin are real close, like they homies. So I'm just assuming that they're gonna have a big part, and what's it called? Like you know the necromancy. They said they're gonna come out with a shit ton of quests, and it's gonna be like a seasonal thing for more and more content to come out. So I'm like, okay, so we understand that this event or this thing is not gonna end anytime soon. That they're like what they're trying to push. And it's also too, dog, like, what I'll be thinking in the real world. They don't want you to go outside. They don't want you to do nothing except spend your time on the game. Like you know how it is. You know how it is. So it's like it's just more content to keep people engaged and all that. So that's pretty much what I really think it is. There's this, like you know how they always say oh, and like in Hollywood rituals and bullshit. Like they're really trying to push an ideology where it's like okay, they're gonna push rituals, like you know how they say oh, you sacrifice bones, you sacrifice blood, you sacrifice whatever. So we understand that something in the shadows is actually coming to the light, and they're trying to spoon feed us this nonsense. Or it may not be nonsense. It may work, it may not, but like voodoo and all that is kind of the same bullshit that they're pushing. So they're trying to spoon feed us into magic in real life and in the game, like death magic, if that makes sense, soul magic, if it makes sense. Because that's what it looks like. To me, that's what it looks like, honestly. You're raising up the dead. You're getting into raising the dead. We're using glyphs and sigils on the floor. You get what I'm saying? We don't see that unless it's real, like real witchcraft. Because the runes that we see in in Zamorak boss fight, those are real runes. Like you can literally look up those runes and they have an exact meaning for what it is. So it's like it's interesting. You get what I'm saying? So you never know what's truly going on unless you in cahoots, but all I can really do is just speculate, dog. Because you can always ask questions like, why is necromancy such a big thing? Why? Like, you can ask surface level questions, but if you really get into deep shit, they might look at you crazy. Like, if I would have went on the trip to Jagex, I would have been looked at real crazy. So what really was going on for you to really create this, huh? Something in the real world going happening, you know what I'm saying? Like something, like, what the fuck is going on, dog? So it's like, it just makes you think. I think that's really what it is. It's supposed to make you think. Like real esoteric, yeah, dog. The big thing with Elite Dungeons 4 was witches. And what are witches, dog? They practice in the, I don't want to say, I mean, yeah, you could say evil arts, but it is what it is, dog. They given up they soul, and they given up their life for a contract with a demon. And you've seen that in the game. Like you make, they if you read the lore, they make contracts with demons. That's why when they die, when you kill them in Elite Dungeons 4, they burn up in fire. Yeah. What the fuck do you think? You know what I mean? So, well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Exactly, dog. Like Vikings know about the runes. So it's like, yeah, it's mainly just paying attention, honestly. Just pay attention in the game, pay attention in the real world, and what's happening. Like they want to make it sound lighthearted, like, oh, you help the dead, and you can conjure the dead, but they're all friendly. Like, nah, dog. Yeah, that ain't how it is. It's, it's cutesy horseshit for something sinister. It's like dealing with the Black Stones, but you're being friendly with them. But yeah, yeah, I would just say look at the what the world's saying right now. Look at the quests. The quests really tell you something. Cause I was looking at the trailer and I forgot what specific part it was, but the Raziel, or the first necromancer, was, he was like, he's using the it, I gotta watch it again, but I think it was something like he was using the Well of Souls and he's powering something. I don't remember specifically. I just glazed over it once, but it was something like that. And then it showed you as the character, like, oh, it's time for you to tap into the power of the souls or something, and something, and I was like, oh shit. So I was like, okay, so they're kind of forcing us to be into this. It's like pushing it, like that's what the fuck I'm talking about, dog. Like they pushing from like a they really making us, how would you say it? It's like normalizing it's like normalizing doing witchcraft. It's like normalizing evil, like I don't want to say evil, but like some other. It's like normalizing some bullshit. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you normalizing you you making us think a certain way to be like, oh, okay. Of course, dog. You already know how it is. The fact that you asking the question means you that means you already know what they doing, dog. You got a feeling of what they doing. You already know, dog. That's why you asking the question. So it's like that's what I'm thinking. It just makes sense. It makes sense, dog. If bro, if you trust me, dog, if you were a billionaire, trillionaire, wouldn't you want the world to be in cahoots with your horseshit, dog? Yes, you would. You know you would. Stop playing. You like what's it called? You like pretend if I mean what's it called? Like you know the Elias, you know what I'm saying? Necrophilia, the Fufaphilia, all that bullshit. Like, bro, they want to make you think a certain way. That's really all it is. They just making you think a certain way. And the fact that none of this is new, like all that sigil shit on the floor, like you know on the like you know the monks of Zamorak or the in the wizard's tower, they like you see sigils on the floor with like teleportation and all that. It's like it's the same shit, except it's being pushed with like a bigger agenda. Because you could be like, what you said, um, yeah. Because if you just look at the name of the Raciel, like how they're saying it, bro, it's the Angel of Truths or secrets, and secrets all that word means is truths. You get what I'm saying? So if it's an Angel of Truth, that means there's gonna be truths that he knows, and we just gonna figure it out. He gonna either tell us or we gonna beat the shit out of him and he gonna tell us. It's either or. It's either or. You gotta say we defeat the first necromancer, he tell us what's happening, or we just go through quest and he tells us what's happening. It's either or. Next thing you know, they tell us the first necromancer is freaking the alphabet gang. You know what I'm saying? Like next thing you know, he's like, oh, he got touched funny, and that's why he's the first necromancer. Like, I can imagine them doing some stupid shit like that. Like I can see it. I can see it.